So today we're looking at Highfield's Level 1 Maths practice paper. This is the non-calculator test, so you're not allowed to use a calculator at all for any questions. Marks are generally awarded for showing your working out, so even potentially if you got the end answer slightly incorrect, if you showed working out, you could still get marks for the larger mark questions. The questions range from 1 mark upwards, so you know the kind of depth of the question that's going to be asked. You can use a pencil and ruler, and you'll be told if you were doing this test what you are allowed to use for any kind of drawings that you might need. There are 9 questions in this one, which are worth a total of 15 marks. So question 1. Write these fractions in order from smallest to largest. You may be able to look at them yourself and think, yeah, I can work that out quite easily, putting those in order. But if you struggle with fractions, one way that I can look at it is looking at these numbers here. What we try and do is make all of these numbers so they're the same number. So as we've got 2 8s, we'll focus on the 8s and try and make these other numbers 8 as well. So if we just put the 4 lines there, we've got 7 over 8 as that one first. We've got 2 over 8 there. To make that number 8, you need to times it by 2, which means you also need to times that by 2, which will be 6. Again, to make that number 8, you times it by 4, which also means you need to change that by 4. Anything you need to do to the bottom, you do to the top as well. So that is 4 over 8. So now, because they're all over 8, it makes it very easy to put them in order. So we can put them in 2 over 8, 4 over 8, 6 over 8, and 7 over 8. Nice and easy. Now that would be acceptable to leave those as that, but if you wanted to revert them back to their original fractions, you could have got 2 over 8, which was that fraction, so that one's fine. So the answer down here would be 2 over 8. 4 over 8 was this one here, so that's 1 over 2. 6 over 8, that was this one here, which is 3 over 4. And the final one is 7 over 8. And that's your order. So you can change it back to those if you want to, otherwise you can just leave it as is. Okay, question 2. Work out the value of 15 squared. So 15 squared means 15 times 15. 2 ways you can work that out. You can either do the calculation as in like this, so 5 ones, so we put a 0 there, so 5 ones are 5, 1 1 is 1, 5 5s are 25, 5 is 5, plus the 2 there is 7, which is 225. Otherwise, you could break this into 10 and a 5, so you could say 15 times 10, which is easy, 150. 15 times 5, obviously is going to be half of that, which is 75. And again, add those up, 225. So different ways of working it out, depending on what suits. But as you know, 15 squared is 15 times 15. So we put the answer down here as 225. So question 3. Question 3, 8 plus 8 times 8 minus 8. In order to do this, you need to know a mathematical term called BODMAS. Don't need to worry about the beginning, because that's about brackets and orders of numbers in brackets. But what you do need is this part. Now this part is basically these symbols. So divide, multiply, add, subtract. If you remember that order, it's something that you couldn't remember, DMaths even, divide, multiply, add, subtract. That's the order that you do a calculation. So if you look at something like this, we have to put it in the right order. So divide we haven't got, so let's cross that one off. But multiply we have. So the first calculation we do is this bit in the middle. It does seem illogical maybe for some, but that's the order, that's a mathematical order that we do it. So 8 times 8 is 64. The next bit is add, so we add on this bit. So add 8, 72. The next bit then is subtract, so we take that off. So we minus 8, which takes us back to 64. So the answer is 64. If we did it in steps, so we did 8 plus 8, which is 16, times 8, minus 8, that's going to be a completely different figure. So you have to follow this DMAS, divide, multiply, add, subtract, when you're doing a calculation like that. Question 4. Which of these nets can be folded to form a cube? Well, as we know, a cube has 6 sides. So we can look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that one's out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that one's out. Now also with a cube, you've got 4 in a straight line and 2 either side to form the top and bottom. This one hasn't got that, this one has. So the answer is D. It is only 1 mark, it only needs to be D. You can put an explanation in there if you felt you needed to, but you only need to put that. Question 5. You want to buy a new surfboard. You found a surfboard that's on special offer. How much will the surfboard cost after the discount? Show you're working out and write the answer in the box below. So, list price is £235. We want to work out 12% of that. Now the easiest way to do that is by finding 1% and then multiplying that by 12. So with £235, that's 100%. To get a percentage back, to get 10%, you'd move the decimal point 1, so that would be 23.5. But to get 1%, we move that again, so that's 2.35. So 1% equals 2.35. Now we need to multiply that by 12. So 5 12s are 60. 3 12s are 36. Plus 6 is 42. 2 12s are 24. Plus 4 is 28. So 28.20. That's the amount that needs to come off the 235. So then all we need to do is 235 minus £28.20. So make sure we line them up, the decimal points are all in the right place. So 0, 2 from 0 we can't do. So 2 from 10 is 8. Put the decimal place in again. 8 from 4 we can't do. Add 1 there, so 8 from 14 is 6. 2 from 2 we can't get, and nothing from 2 is 2. So your answer is £206.80. So a logical way to work out your percentage and then take that off to get your discounted price. And good working out across the way. So your answer down here is £206.80. Question 6. You are preparing to enter a local surfing competition. You know that it will take you 45 minutes to drive to the competition, 11 minutes to put on your wetsuit, and 25 minutes to register for the competition. The competition starts at 1 p.m. You start the above activities at 11:30 a.m. Will you be ready in time for the complete competition to start at 1 p.m? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is work out how much time this is all going to take. So 45 plus 11 plus 25. That's 81 minutes. That's how long that's going to take. You start the above activities at 11:30. So that's going to take you 81 minutes from there. Is going to take you, so 60 minutes will be 12:30 and another 21. So complete by 12:51. So yes, you will be there by 1 o'clock. So the answer is yes. So it says there you're complete by 12:51, so that's your justification for that answer. Question 7. You volunteer at the Highfield Nature Reserve. There are 10 volunteers at the reserve. Every day a name is drawn at random to see who will refill the bird feeders. On the scale below, mark an X to indicate the probability that you will be drawn to refill the bird feeders. Okay, so simple one here. It's only 1 mark, so you know that there are 10 volunteers, and your scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10, that's 0, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So as you are just 1 amongst those 10, it's going to be here. Quite simply, a probability line. Look at where the numbers should be on that line. It tells you 0 is here. So we know that's going to be then 1 to 10 from there. And your chance, because you are 1 in that 10, that's your probability, is 1 in 10. Question 8. Last year, the Reserve received £3,700 in donations. This year has seen a 15% increase in the amount donated. How much has been donated this year? So, 3,700, 15% increase on that. So let's again break that down to 10% and then half of that, which is 5%. So 10% of that, you'd be knocking off the 0, so that's 370. To get half of that, just divide that by 2. £185. You may be able to do that in your head, but I thought if we put the calculation on there, that's easier. So if you add 3,700 to 370 and 185, you'll get your figure. So that's 10% and then 5%, that's your 15% increase. So because it's an increase, you know you're adding it on. So 4,255 is your answer. So we put that down there, £4,255. Okay. Number 9. You are preparing a presentation on the different types of birds in the reserve. You display the figures in a chart. So there's your chart. So a fifth of the birds are woodpeckers, 70% of the birds are owls, and the remainder of the birds are turtle doves. So because we've got different calculations here, and really we could do with having one or other, the easiest way is to convert one of these to one of the others. So we've got a percentage, we've got a fraction. Now we know a fifth is 20%. So if we divided by 100 by 5, that would be 20. So a fifth is 20%. So let's say 20% are birds. Sorry, are woodpeckers, they're all birds. 70% are owls, and therefore we're only left with 10%, which is turtle doves. Okay, so now we need to work out the angles. So we know a circle is 360 degrees. Degrees. So to work out 10% of that, knock off that, that's 36. So we can do the turtle doves easily. That's 36 degrees. To work out 20%, we just times that by 2. So 36 plus 36 is 72. So we know that woodpeckers are 72 degrees. And then again, to get 70, we could do 36 times 7. That's 252. Now if you wanted to, you could add those 3 up just to check. So you could say 72, 252 and 36, and you should get 360 out of that. There we go, 360. So we know that's right because we've checked that. And that's it. That's all your questions answered, all 9 questions. So I hope that's been helpful, working through some of these questions. This is a level 1 paper, so there's a mix of questions on here. There are a couple that would challenge you a bit more, usually the ones such as question 9 where you've got a few things broken down. But hopefully this has helped you give some ideas of how to work out some of these questions better. Thank you.